In the review progress note report, if you simply type review, you'll notice that the review progress note report is the first thing at the bottom. You can click that. What you're going to do is put your start date and your end date. This is the date of service, not the date that the note was written. So I'm going to be reviewing notes that I wrote on Thursday the 2nd. And so I'm just looking at that particular day. I want to look at all notes, but I do have the option to just look at draft notes or final notes. You're going to look for your name, and then you're simply going to click process. So this form works like the print version of pretty much all of our other forms, like the ECS plan print, but it's actually a report. So just like the print version of stuff, the little icon will come here. You'll see that it isn't very easy to read. So what you're going to need to do is put it into an Excel format. So you're going to click the top left button, whereas typically you would save your documents as a PDF. You're actually going to change this to be Microsoft Excel. Your disk file, if you leave it as disk file, you will actually be able to save the Excel document directly onto your computer into whatever file or folder you want. But if you don't want to have to save the document in order to view it, you can change that to application, click OK, and then just click OK, and then click OK. The Excel document will open up without you having to save it first before viewing it. You do also have the option of saving the Excel document once it's open if you feel like you need to. Now you'll also see that it's the text is not wrapped and the fields are all squinched together. So what you're going to do is click this little arrow in the left-hand corner of your Excel document, right here in between the 1 and the A, and then you're going to hover in between the A and B, and you're going to double click your left mouse button. And when you double click there, it will automatically expand everything to where it needs to be. Now you're going to notice that when you're reviewing your notes, one of the things you want to look at is duration. Does my duration look correct? And this particular note, my duration is incorrect, so I have my end time is 12:03 a.m., so I need to fix that. You want to look really at all the fields. It gives you the child ID, the child name, the type of progress note you used. So if you used anything other than ECS progress note, that would be problematic. It tells you the episode name and episode number. So if you see kids in both ECI and MHMR Tarrant, then you will be able to see everything in one report. It'll tell you the type of the note type that you selected, and the 3 note types you could select are case management, service coordination, eval screening and assessment, and ECS therapeutic intervention. It'll tell you your name, which is the practitioner name. If you selected a co-practitioner, which you should not, so all these should be blank, the co-practitioner, it would show there. The date is the date of service. The program is the service program or team that you selected. The code is the CPT code or service charge code that you used. The location is home or other community setting. Your start time, your end time, your duration, your recipient codes, this is where you would check that. Your encounter code, whether it was face-to-face or telephone. Your appointment is scheduled kept or cancel no-show. Your medical diagnosis, and it gives you the actual diagnosis number and the description. And then also your credential that you selected. And then the last thing it shows you here is if the note is in draft or if you have already finalized the note. Now pretty much everything after column B is nothing that you need to pay attention to, which is why it's here at the end. So you can stop at column B. The only people that would need to look further are CODAs and SLP interns who will need to look at column Z, which is the incident to practitioner. So just double check that you, one, selected an incident to practitioner and you put your supervisor's name in there, and two, that you put the correct supervisor's name. So one of the things you want to look for is that you did case management, and does your credential match the service that you're using? So that one does match. I have targeted case management. I already know that it's 720 minutes, so I need to correct that. But it also looks like I used the EIS credential, which is incorrect. I should have used service coordinator, so I need to correct that. Also, you'll notice I did a targeted case management face-to-face visit, but I accidentally selected my encounter code to be telephone. So I need to make sure I correct that. My pre-enrollment service coordination, that is correct. It was a cancellation no-show, which is why I have 0 duration. But on my pre-enrollment service coordination, it looks like I put 60-minute duration, but it was a cancellation no-show. So it actually was a cancellation no-show, so I need to correct my end time on that note. The dietitian evaluation, everything looks good with that one. I did not select a diagnosis, so I would need to go back and select a diagnosis. And it looks like this one that I already have finalized, that looks correct. Nope, that is not correct, because I did a pre-enrollment service coordination and I put CCC SLP as my credential instead of service coordinator. So this note I would be able to append using the append note, and I would not have to rewrite the note since that is my only correction.